Many Americans might be surprised that thousands of historic places in our country are at risk. Some are threatened by development, like Civil War battlefields that the National Trust has worked to protect. Others are more remote. They're not threatened by development, but by disappearance. I've seen pictures of the old Rosenwald schools where hundreds of thousands of African American children learn to read. Those buildings are disappearing into the woods across the South. Losing such places forever is unthinkable. That's why the National Trust launched the National Treasures campaign to identify endangered places and try to save them. I'm pleased that I can show my support by serving as honorary chair of this campaign. Historic preservation is a lifelong interest of mine. It began in my hometown of Midland, Texas. Our county courthouse, a 1930s building, stood as the biggest and the most important building in our city. In the basement of the county courthouse was the Midland County Public Library. My mother and I were regular visitors to the library, and I have many happy memories of reading with her there. That courthouse is a historic building that I've never forgotten. You know what I discovered as First Lady was that Americans are passionate about our historic places. We never forget the schools we attended or the theaters where we saw our first movies. These places help tell the story of our country, and that's why more Americans want to see them saved. Helping to save the places where history happened is the reason I joined the board of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. I truly believe that when we save the past, we enrich our nation's future for everyone. Historic preservation is more than bricks and mortar. Preservation means building community partnerships. It means bringing neighbors and businesses and governments together to protect neighborhoods and main streets. It means educating school children about the history around them so that they can discover where their ancestors lived and worked and worshiped. That's what the National Trust does. The Trust shines a spotlight on the history around us, and it inspires us to save our historic places for future generations. Saving historic places can involve millions of Americans in preservation. The Trust helped save archaeological sites at Chimney Rock in Colorado and raised the funds to restore log cabins at Whitegrass Dude Ranch in Wyoming. Friends and neighbors working together to protect these places always make the difference. I've watched the way that preserving landmarks opens neighbors' eyes to the history around them. In Texas, our courthouses have become vibrant tourist attractions, especially the ones in well-preserved downtowns. When a town restores its main streets, tourism and revitalization are likely to follow. Preservation puts people to work. It grows the economy. Preservation pays. Historic places really are the heart of our country. I'm reminded of this when I visit national parks or house museums, or when I admire historic courthouses here in Texas. Preservation can rekindle local pride. It revitalizes community spirit. It opens residents' eyes to their own rich history. Preservation transforms the ordinary places where we live into places that we love. That's why I'm asking all Americans to support the National Trust for Historic Preservation. Please consider giving generously to save the extraordinary places all across this land.